Well, after the torrential end to the qualifying proceedings, finals day kicked off under blissfully blue skies, with the sunshine and low finals making the wet track a distant memory. Semi-final B saw second place qualifier Merlin Depter relatively unchallenged, running smoothly for the 20 minutes. The real eye-opener was Frenchman Anthony Abisset, up from 7th on the grid to finish second, with the British driver Neil King, who drops from 3rd spot, finishing 4th. But as this was the slower semi, Depter takes 2nd on the final grid, with Abisset on 4th and Morgan Renzi makes 5th. Similarly, semi-final A saw TQ man Andrea Lorenzi, untested, finishing 1st, and Luca Conti making the headlines, up from grid 7th to finish 2nd. And Stefano Solaroli, who was made to drop his fastest time yesterday, proves his point, finishing 3rd, and so will take 7th on the final grid, with Conti 3rd and of course Anthony Abisset on pole. Well, as seems to be customary in nitro track racing, the final was subject to a 10-minute delay, called by number 10 driver Romain Batterel, so this didn't cost him much moving back to the 11th spot. Well, the horn sounded and the grid made a clean getaway, but to car 1's advantage, orange car 2 of Merlin Depter was sliding around quite a bit, giving Andrea Lorenzi a bit of breathing space, whilst Luca Conti in yellow and Anthony Abisset in pink piled the pressure on the shaky German car. At the end of the first lap, Merlin's car seems to be running okay now, and the field narrowly avoid flattening the race director. But then a freak launch coming out of the infield S's, and Lorenzi is off the track. The marshal rights him again, but now he's practically in last place. This is the start Merlin Depter must have dreamt of. So Merlin Depter leads, Anthony Abisset gets past Luca Conti in the melee, and our poleman is now down to 7th position. Merlin has the consistency, but the two behind him have the speed. Conti gets back to 2nd, but despite their scuffling, they seem to be gaining on Depter. Conti's really got the pace on the leader. Oh, he's slowing, he's into the pits. So definite issues for car 2 as Michael Salvan takes a look, and his other mechanic dives into the toolbox. So it's Conti from Abisset. And that white car in 3rd is poleman Andrea Lorenzi, pushing hard to work his way back up. Well, 13 laps into what should be about a 165 lap race, and Merlin's back out, but in last place. Still sparring, Luca Conti and Anthony Abisset pit together and exit in the same order, so the battle for the lead continues. In fact, before long, Lorenzi is up into 3rd, and there is less than a second in a three-way battle for the lead. However, 2 and 3 squabbling is allowing Luca to get away. Lap after lap, the top 3 remain close. Andrea Lorenzi, the fastest man at this event, frustrated in 3rd, and really having the pace on the pink car of Anthony Abisset. But knowing after the previous attempts, under the eagle eyes of Dallas Matheson, he needs to make a clean pass. Finally he makes it, and it's almost an anticlimax, but the front 2 make a fuel stop. Lorenzi continues to increase his lead, and around 50 laps he makes a fuel stop, and he gets in and out without the other 2 passing. But as you see, he exits the infield S's as Anthony and Luca enter, but Lorenzi continues to show his dominance. And as he works his way through the back markers, Merlin Depter, now in 7th, continues his run of bad luck. Just past the 20-minute mark, Lorenzi comes in for a tyre change. He's only 5 seconds ahead of Anthony Abisset, so will lose his position for the time being. At the halfway point, Lorenzi leads on 86 laps, Conti on 85, Abisset just 2 seconds behind him. But then 28 minutes in, it's disaster for Lorenzi. He's rushed back to the pits by his mechanic. Up on the driver's stand, he has an agonising wait. After all his work to get back out front again from the opening laps accident, he gets out, but Anthony Abisset has passed him. And understandably, In the panic, his return lap is a little shaky, and so Abisset takes the opportunity for a fuel stop and gets out just behind Lorenzi, but a lap ahead. So Lorenzi is almost 2 laps back now in second, while Maxi Fogel is up into third, 4 seconds behind him. Approaching 10 minutes to go, this race has changed so much from the predictability at the start. Anthony Abisset has about a 10-second lead on the poleman, Andrea Lorenzi, who has almost a 10-second lead on the white and green car 8 of Maxi Fogel. But things continue to go downhill for Lorenzi. He seems to have lost his steering. And once returned to the pits, his mechanics don't look hopeful. So with less than 10 minutes to go, Fogel is in second, with Luca Conti just a few corners behind him in third, but with a fuel stop in hand and gaining all the time. Fogel makes his stop and Conti sails past and begins eating into Abisset's lead. With 2 minutes to go, Anthony makes a late fuel stop for safety. But as everyone else's tyres are going off, Luca seems to be picking up the pace. He's now just 4 seconds back and gaining almost a second each lap. And with time dying out, it seems remarkable that he would even have a chance to battle for the lead. But with no great drama, just consistently gaining lap after lap. On his final lap, he is just one mistake away from being champion, but perhaps this thought is what's playing on his mind. Anthony Abisset holds his nerve and crosses the line for the win, with Luca Conti just a second behind him and Fogel in third.
Oh, final was quite a hard race. At the beginning I was fourth, and I fought with Italian guy Lorenzi and Merlin, who had problem at the beginning. So I was fighting for 2-3, 2-3. I had the same fuel stop than the other guys, so I think the consistency was the key for this race. Also from the driver and the mechanic.
Sono contentissimo.
I didn't expect these results. Thanks to my sponsor, EFRA as a team, my 2 mechanics, my brothers. The final minutes, we are all together for the first position. I think nothing. I think well, now I can catch the first, but I'm so very happy.
At the end, it was crazy because we made an extra fuel stop just to be sure to finish the race. And I saw the other guy, the Italian guy, coming behind, and I had no more tires. Really, I was on the rims. Yeah. So yeah, that was really hard for the nerves.